Today I'm so excited because after my kosher kitchen tour, so many of you asked me how I verify my food to make sure it is kosher according to Jewish dietary laws. So today I will bring you along as I check my fruits, veggies, grains, and a very suspicious box of cake mix before using them in my Orthodox Sephardic Kosher Kitchen to make sure that they are kosher and bug-free, as eating bugs is forbidden for us. I cannot wait to hear if you think that bug checking is a good thing after watching this video, especially when you see the amount of bugs we will find. I think it will shock you. If you're new here, hi, my name is Sara Malka, and on my channel I share every aspect of my Sephardic Orthodox Jewish life as a full-time working mom with small kiddos. So don't forget to leave this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Let me put on a pretty techel and let's jump into it. Before I bring anything in the house that will be used for eating, cooking, or baking, I will make sure that they are kosher and they look as much as possible bug-free in the store for my fruits and vegetables. This is why I verify a few things in the store. For most of the closed vegetables and fruits like carrots, beets, apples, banana, I simply wash and eat them as long as they do not have questionable signs like holes on their surface. But for certain fruits and vegetables, they can't be checked fully due to their structure and the size of the bugs, like blackberries and raspberries, where the insects are found between the droplets or small balls of the berries, which makes them impossible to fully be checked. The same holds true for the cauliflowers, where the insects are in and around the tight white curds, which makes them impossible to be checked fully for bugs. For the fresh broccoli, we only eat the stalks and not the florets. Whether for broccoli or cauliflower, we will only eat them fully if they are grown in special bug-free greenhouses, and you will understand why when I show you what I found in the florets when we come home. For certain fruits, veggies, and other food that are known to be frequently infested by bugs, I can simply do a bidika or verification to make sure they are kosher and bug-free. For example, celery, I always check them in the store to make sure there are no visible insects in them. In these organic celery, I looked at 10 packs and all of them had bugs, so I will look for another alternative for my celery. After looking at different options, this one seems pretty nice. I cannot see bugs on the surface and I do not see holes as well, but sometimes looks can be deceiving, so we shall see later at home when we check it for bugs. For the Roman lettuce, I do the same thing. I look at the packs to make sure the leaves are fresh and I do not see bugs. And in this bag, everything seems perfect, so it's coming home with us. For the grains and legumes, I will look in the store to see if there's a lot of powder in the bag, which is a telltale sign that there might be insects. Like in this bag of wheat kernels that had a lot of powder in it, and when I looked at it closely, I saw that there were many bugs inside. These two bags of rice seem okay, so they're coming home with us. I will also buy some eggs. All eggs from kosher birds are kosher unless they have a blood spot in their yolk. I will take white regular eggs and some organic eggs, and I will show you how I check them to be sure they are kosher so they do not present a blood spot, and why I only use regular white eggs. As you can see, I was not very lucky with my first box of organic eggs, so I put it away and I took another one. This week I also needed some flour and some cake mix, and I will show you what I found in one of them, which was a shocker for me, as I never found anything like that in the past in this kind of product. Once that I am home, I will take out everything, and then I will take out my trusty bug light. I will start by checking my chickpeas, as they need a bit more time to be fully checked. Before checking them, I like to put them in a glass container to make them easier to handle. Then I put them in water. Sometimes, like in this bag, as soon as I immerse the chickpeas, I see a weevil that is floating at the surface of the water. Don't worry, I removed it and rescued it by putting it in the garden. Now that I do not see any bugs, I will let the chickpeas soak and we will check them again once that they are rehydrated, because rehydrating the chickpeas will allow me to see better the surface of the chickpeas. While the chickpeas are being rehydrated, I will start my Roman lettuce. I take it out and of course I prepare them in small batch. I detach the leaves one by one, and I like taking a quick look at them to see if I can already see a lot of insects, and this lettuce seems pretty clean. I place the leaves in a bowl with cold water, and yes, I should have taken a large basin, but I wanted to show you the process in a glass bowl for you to be able to see everything. Then I add my veggie wash. I buy it in my grocery store, but you can buy it online too. I mix everything thoroughly, and then I will let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. While it is soaking, I will start my celery. As you can see, my celery seems very nice at the store, but when I unwrapped it, there were quite a bit of nicks at the surface and I could already find a bug at the feet of the celery. While I'm detaching the branches of the celery, I see more and more insects on the surface of the celery. I place my celery branches in a sieve and I run the celery under the water, and I use my veggie brush on every surface to remove as many bugs and dirt as I can. For the celery stalks that are very closed up like this one, I will cut them open to expose all surfaces, and as you can see, I find even more insects. I clean every branch until I cannot see any other insects, and I remove any parts with holes. Then they are ready to be eaten, especially in my favorite Waldorf salad. The salad has soaked and is ready to be checked. I will use my veggie brush, my veggie scrub daddy, a soft sponge, or even my fingers to clean my salad. I take the leaves one by one and place them under running water. At the same time, I pass my fingers or the sponge on each part of the leaf to remove as many bugs as I can. Once that they are individually clean, I place them on a dish towel and I dry them. I put the lettuce leaves one by one on the bug light, and I look by transparency to find insects. Most of the leaves of this lettuce were fine, except this one that still had a bug on it, even after all these steps. I remove the last bug, and I will roll my bug-free salad in a humid dish towel and store it in a Ziploc bag until we're ready to eat it later in the week. I will check my rice to go with my crispy fish that I will prepare this week, and of course I will leave the link to the video above and in the description box below. As with my chickpeas, I transfer my rice in a glass container as I find it easier to manipulate it than taking it directly from the bag. I put a cup of rice in a sieve. Then I will shake it and mix it over my bug light. I look on my white surface if I can see any bug. In this particular bag, as you can see at first, it seems pretty okay, but when I look closely, I see many bugs, some even are alive. Because I found more than 2 bugs in a brand new bag, the Jewish law states that we have to discard the bag completely, as it is considered as being infested. I restart with a brand new bag the process. I'll redo the first 2 steps of putting the rice in a sieve and verifying over a bug light. Once I see there is no bugs, I put the rice on the bug light and check between the grain of rice for bugs. If I cannot find any bugs, like in this case, I could use it as is, but because I found bugs in the previous bag, I can do an extra step that is not mandatory, but simply is an extra step to make extra sure that the rice is bug-free. I will put the rice in the water with salt and I will agitate it and look at the surface of the water to see if I can find any bugs. If I don't find any bug at the surface, then it's ready to be cooked. I know I will only use the stalks of my broccoli, but I wanted to show you how small the insects are in the florets, which makes them almost impossible to be seen and removed fully, which explains why we cannot eat fresh florets unless they are from a bug-free greenhouse. We received organic zucchinis, and usually they can be eaten after a quick wash and a surface check, but this zucchini did not look normal with these brown stains, so I've decided to cut it open, and of course as soon as I removed the top, I saw this nice fellow. And being a glutton for punishment, I continued my search to see if the worm came alone. After struggling to break the zucchini open, I saw that it came with its brother. And after breaking the zucchini even more, I saw that he brought his cousin. Needless to say that we did not eat the zucchini and it went straight into our compost. If you have been with me for a little while, you know that I check my eggs for blood spots before using them in cakes and the like, as the presence of blood spots in the egg yolk would render the egg not kosher. And so far, in all our videos, we found no blood spots. Just for this video, I checked another dozen of regular eggs to see if I could find any blood spot, and I found none. I wanted to be able to show you what I'm looking for when I talk about blood spots, and I have decided to use organic eggs, as in my experience there's a higher chance to find blood spots in organic free-range eggs. To check the egg, I break the egg and I sway the egg yolk in the eggshells. And finally, I look at the bottom of the egg, and sure enough, when I cracked my first organic egg, I found a blood spot in the yolk. I tried a second egg, and once again I found a blood spot. In total, out of the 12 organic eggs, 9 had blood spots. Now you know why I choose regular eggs when I cook or bake. As you know, sometimes in a pinch I will use cake mix, and when I opened my box of cake mix, it looked bizarre as there was a lot of powder at the bottom of the cake box. I tossed and turned my bag to make sure it was not opened, and sure enough, no cake mix was leaking. To make sure that it was okay to eat it, I started by sifting part of the bag, and what was left in the sieve did not look normal. When I put what was left in the sieve on the bug light, I saw this bug, as well as this sugar high happy fellow. When I went to sift the rest of the bag, I saw this bug, and then afterwards I saw that one. So I knew it was time to say goodbye to my cake mix. After my chickpeas have soaked for a few hours, I will take them a handful at a time and flip my hands to see the other side of the chickpea. I'm looking for black dots on the surface of the chickpeas, and when I find a spot like this, I will open my chickpea and see what's in it. In this case, it was an insect that inserted itself in the chickpea and dried in it, so without the rehydration, I would not have been able to find the bug. Once the chickpeas are very fine, because I only found one bug, they are ready to be used. Thank you for being here. It means the world to me. Know that in my book you are a superhero, especially if you are here until the end and could stomach seeing all the bugs. If you're still with me, please write in the comments, I love bug-free food, so I know I was not alone. And if nobody told you today, know that you are loved and you are enough just the way you are. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and don't forget to frum it up.
Like a bet in Greek fountain.